Imagine walking through the dense jungle of Central America, where beneath your feet, buried for centuries, lie the ruins of a once great civilization. The Mayans, whose towering pyramids pierced the sky, mysteriously vanished, leaving behind only fragments of their grandeur. Across the globe in the scorching sands of Egypt, lies another enigma, the pyramids of Giza. These colossal structures, with their perfect geometry and astronomical alignment, raise the question: how did an ancient civilization without modern tools achieve such precision? And then there's the lost city of Atlantis, a legend whispered for millennia, hinting at a once flourishing civilization submerged beneath the sea. Could it have existed? And if so, why did it disappear? As we dig deeper into the unsolved mysteries of ancient civilizations, we begin to uncover patterns and connections that hint at a forgotten chapter in human history. This isn't just about stone temples, lost cities, or mythic floods. It's about what these ancient enigmas suggest about the potential of human achievement and the possible interconnectedness of ancient societies. One of the most compelling aspects of this exploration is the realization that, even with all our modern technology and understanding, there are still vast gaps in our knowledge of the past. Could it be that these civilizations were more advanced, or at least more sophisticated in certain ways, than we've been led to believe? The Mayans and their mastery of time are particularly intriguing. Their calendar is one of the most sophisticated in the ancient world. Unlike the Gregorian calendar we use today, the Mayan calendar didn't just track the days and months. It was intricately tied to celestial movements and long cycles of time. The long count, which famously predicted the end of the world in 2012, though this was widely misunderstood, tracks time over thousands of years. The precision with which the Mayans measured astronomical events like solar eclipses, solstices, and planetary alignments suggest that they had a far deeper understanding of the cosmos than we typically give them credit for. But how did they develop this knowledge? The Mayans didn't have telescopes or other modern tools of astronomy, yet they were able to predict celestial events with extraordinary accuracy. One theory is that they inherited this knowledge from an even earlier civilization, one that predates the Mayans by thousands of years and whose identity has been lost to time. There are whispers of an ancient global civilization that passed down knowledge to the Egyptians, the Mayans, and others, leaving behind clues scattered across the globe. Across the Atlantic, the ancient Egyptians demonstrated a similarly profound understanding of the stars. The Great Pyramid of Giza aligns perfectly with the cardinal directions and is positioned so precisely that some researchers believe it could have been used as an observatory. But this is only part of the puzzle. The Great Pyramid is also aligned with the stars in Orion's belt, a constellation that the Egyptians associated with the god Osiris, the ruler of the afterlife. This alignment isn't just symbolic. It suggests that the Egyptians were tracking the movements of the stars with a level of precision that rivals our modern capabilities. How did they achieve this? Theories range from the practical to the fantastical. Some suggest that the Egyptians used simple yet ingenious tools to track the stars' movements over time. Others propose that they had access to advanced knowledge, perhaps handed down from an earlier civilization. One that, like Atlantis, has been lost to the sands of time. The construction of the pyramids themselves is another enigma. Mainstream Egyptologists suggest that the pyramids were built using ramps and manpower, but this explanation doesn't fully account for the sheer size and precision of the stones used in the pyramids. Some of the limestone blocks used in the Great Pyramid weigh as much as 80 tons, and they were transported from quarries miles away. How were they able to move such massive stones with the limited technology available at the time? And perhaps more intriguingly, why did they go to such lengths to ensure that the pyramids were built with such precision? Some alternative theories suggest that the Egyptians may have had access to anti-gravitational technology or some form of energy that allowed them to move the stones with ease. While this may sound like science fiction, it's worth noting that we still don't fully understand how the pyramids were built, and the lack of definitive evidence leaves room for speculation. Could it be that the Egyptians possessed knowledge of natural forces that we've since forgotten or lost? These questions bring us to Atlantis, the most elusive and debated ancient civilization of all. Plato's account of Atlantis is the only written record we have, and for centuries it has been dismissed as myth. But what if Atlantis was real? What if Plato's story, which describes an advanced society that was destroyed in a single day by a catastrophic flood, is a distorted memory of a real event, one that occurred long before recorded history? If Atlantis did exist, where was it located? Some researchers believe it could have been in the Mediterranean, near the island of Crete, where the Minoan civilization once thrived. The Minoans were known for their advanced architecture, art, and trade networks, and they were abruptly wiped out by a massive volcanic eruption on the island of Thera, modern-day Santorini. This event could have inspired the myth of Atlantis, as the destruction was sudden and devastating. However, others believe that Atlantis was located in the Atlantic Ocean, possibly near the Azores or even as far south as Antarctica. Recent discoveries of submerged structures off the coasts of Japan, Cuba, and India have reignited interest in the possibility of lost civilizations beneath the sea. These structures, which include pyramids and other megalithic formations, suggest that there may have been advanced societies living along coastlines that were flooded as sea levels rose at the end of the last ice age. Could Atlantis have been one of these societies? And if so, what other lost civilizations might be hidden beneath the world's oceans, waiting to be discovered? The possibility that there are entire civilizations that we have yet to discover is both exciting and daunting. It raises the question of how much of our history has been lost to time, and how much we can still learn from the ancient world. The legends of Atlantis, the mysteries of the Mayans, and the enigmas of ancient Egypt all point to a common theme: the fragility of civilization and the fleeting nature of human achievement. These societies were capable of incredible feats of engineering, astronomy, and culture, yet they all eventually fell, leaving behind only traces of their greatness. Perhaps the most important lesson we can learn from these ancient mysteries is that knowledge is never truly lost. Even as these civilizations disappeared, they left behind clues, artifacts, structures, and stories that continue to inspire and intrigue us today. The fact that we are still fascinated by these mysteries, thousands of years later, speaks to the enduring power of human curiosity and the desire to understand our past. In the case of Atlantis, some believe that its legacy lives on in the form of ancient wisdom passed down through secret societies and esoteric teachings. There are those who claim that the knowledge of Atlantis, its understanding of energy, consciousness, and the cosmos, has been preserved by groups like the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, and other mystical orders. Whether or not this is true, it raises an interesting point. Even if the physical evidence of Atlantis has been lost, its influence may still be felt in ways that are more subtle and less tangible. Similarly, the Mayans left behind more than just ruins. Their knowledge of time and the cosmos continues to intrigue scientists and spiritual seekers alike. Some believe that the Mayan calendar marks not the end of the world, but the beginning of a new era. A time when humanity will rediscover the wisdom of the ancients and reconnect with the natural cycles of the universe. Whether or not this is true, the fact remains that the Mayans had a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of life, the stars, and the earth, a knowledge that we are only now beginning to appreciate. As for the Egyptians, their legacy is perhaps the most visible of all. The pyramids stand as a testament to their engineering prowess, but they also serve as a reminder of the spiritual and philosophical depth of ancient Egyptian culture. The Egyptians believed in the concept of Ma'at, the idea of balance and order in the universe, and this belief permeated every aspect of their society. Could it be that the Egyptians' understanding of balance and harmony extended beyond the physical world and into realms that we have yet to explore? One of the most intriguing aspects of ancient Egypt is the suggestion that they may have had access to technologies or knowledge that we no longer possess. For example, some researchers have pointed to the Baghdad battery, a mysterious artifact that appears to be an ancient form of electrical device. While its exact purpose remains unclear, it raises the question of whether ancient civilizations understood and utilized forms of energy in ways that we have since forgotten. And then there are the strange and unexplained phenomena found in other parts of the world, such as the Nazca lines in Peru. These massive geoglyphs, which can only be fully appreciated from the air, have puzzled archaeologists for decades. Were they simply religious symbols, meant to be seen by the gods? Or could they have been something else? Perhaps markers for an ancient form of navigation, or even landing strips for extraterrestrial visitors. While these ideas may seem far-fetched, the truth is that we still don't fully understand the purpose of the Nazca lines, and their creation remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. The discovery of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey has also challenged our understanding of ancient history. This archaeological site, which dates back over 12,000 years, is considered the world's oldest known temple. What makes Göbekli Tepe so fascinating is that it predates the development of agriculture and permanent settlements. How could a society of hunter-gatherers have built such an elaborate and sophisticated structure?